All right, boys, man. Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today, we're going to be talking about on how to get rich copying people, bro. Don't. That's another way to really get rich. See, the blueprint is already out there to actually get rich. It's just we don't want to turn our brain off and we don't want to lock in. That's the real problem. If you're not turning your brain off, then how do you expect yourself to become this successful like businessman, bro? Like, you literally got to work like a robot to get to where you're trying to get to. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's hard, but you kind of get used to it after a while. It just becomes your lifestyle. It becomes a lifestyle for you. I'm just letting y'all know. You got to turn your brain off, but you got to also look at the top successful guys. What do you think they're doing all day? You got to look at it like that. Do you think they're really just sitting around bullshitting all day? 9 times out of 10, no. They're locked in. You got to think about somebody like, for example, like Mike Tyson. Now, Mike Tyson, he locked in on his craft. That's all he did was he boxed. Or Floyd Mayweather. That's all they did was they boxed. Floyd Mayweather is a perfect example. My bad. Think about somebody like Floyd Mayweather. He's training. He's training all day. That's all he worried about. He's worried about boxing, training. This man's not sitting there scrolling on social media worried about other people. For him to get to where he at, he had to lock in, turn his brain off, and focus on that task. How many hours do you think he's training on boxing like a day? He's training a lot. Or Conor McGregor. Now, even though they're fighters, but you got to also look at these people like businessmen. What do you think they're doing behind the scenes if they're not fighting? They're more likely working on these business. Because, you see NBA players and rappers, they get rich and all that, but they're rappers and some don't go broke. But the ones that don't go broke and that get richer, like 50 Cent, these people, they're still businessmen behind the scenes, bro. They're still businessmen that worried about these things. So if you want to, for example, let's say become a YouTuber. If you want to become a YouTuber, you got to look at people that's in your niche that are the goats of your niche. So let's say if it's like Hamza, for my example. I got to look at his work ethic and copy the blueprint. What is he doing? What kind of videos is he making? What kind of edits? You need to be doing your research on what kind of, like, you know what I'm saying? What kind of videos pop off and what don't? What works, what don't work? You got to copy the style of him. Not saying the style like his style, my bad, that sounds wrong, but you got to copy like his work ethic, okay? I'm not saying you got to copy his videos, but you got to almost copy his work ethic to get to where you're trying to get to. Look at anybody that's successful in your niche and you got to copy their work ethic, whether you're a Twitch streamer or you're a businessman that runs a Shopify store. If you're in a Shopify store, what are the top dropshippers are doing? What makes the dropshippers successful? And you need to implement that and copy that. What time are they eating? What time are they working out? Are their days planned? If you want to be a millionaire, what are the millionaires doing? Are they working 12 hours a day? Their days are structured. They're turning their brain off. They're being very disciplined, and they're sticking to the plan every single day as much as they can. And they turn their phone off on do not disturb and have discipline. These are the things that are making them successful, and they're doing it repetitiously. Eventually, it's like a snowball effect. Eventually, that when you push that snowball gets big and it becomes this giant effect. What are these guys, the top guys, doing to become successful, whether it's in your niche or not? Even at your job, you want that position in your job. You need to ask the guy, what did he do to get in that position? What did it take? And you need to implement it and do exactly what the man tells you. And this man, you got to copy him. So in order to actually get rich is to literally copy the formula. What was the formula? What did they do to be successful? And do exactly what they tell you. Exactly what they tell you. If you follow exactly what they tell you, more than likely you'll be successful. But 9 times out of 10, most people aren't going to do that. Because you want to know why? It takes work. You got to turn your brain off. Literally. You have to work like an actual robot, an absolute maniac. These are the things that really take you to the next level. You just have to copy. If you want to be like Elon Musk, what is Elon Musk's work ethic? If you want to be a billionaire, how do billionaires work? What is their mentality? Then people clearly master money. If you can make $1 million, they make 10 million, they make 100 million 10 different times to become a billionaire. You got to look at their work ethic. How did they reprogram their brain? They clearly reprogrammed their brain and they work a certain type of way. And they're very disciplined and they understand money. You need to do exactly what the person is doing in order to become successful. That's why they always say it's easier than ever to become more successful and to make thousands of dollars on the internet or Even in life, if you want to make 10,000, 100,000, you have to copy the formula and do exactly what they did. It's just, do you really have what it takes? I hope you do, because you watched to the end. So I'm going to catch you later. Peace.